Okay, so initially I was talking about my experience, my certification, all those things. Hope that's fine, that we can record from here. Anyone has any concerns? Hope not. Okay. So, as I said earlier, these 2 days we will talk about what is CloudShine all about, what is this training all about, what kind of topics that we are going to cover. And in addition to that, so we used to talk about only financial training, functional training. In addition to that, how the reporting also built, right? We used to create some end-to-end reports also, but that additionally we need to take some additional hours to cover. That's what I'm doing from past 4 to 5 batches based on recommendation of the people who are joined here. So we also give the certification, completion certification only when you complete the assignments. In addition to that, I also provide the certification support. For example, you want to do a GL certification or AP certification, we provide. We used to give a questions in this training. We used to give some questions after completing the batch, or maybe after completing the specific module. We give the questions. If you guys are able to clear out those questions and complete the assignment, you will be good to get the 90% score in the respective module certification, right? That also will provide the assistance, and also will provide the sample resumes, and also we provide the new format of resume, how you need to prepare in this current world. Assume that I have 17 plus of years of experience. If I'm keeping everything in resume, it comes like 7 to 8 pages, right? But most of the cases, no one has that time or interest to go through all your 17 pages of, right? So how to minimize the content, but how to project yourself as a good resource, how to prepare the resume, those things also we will be supporting, especially for this CloudShine training, including the certification support, right? Most of the people, what they do, they'll just give a training and they'll ask you guys to go through that. I don't see they will enforce to complete the practice as well. Okay. Today, we'll see what is the cloud all about, what is the SaaS component, what is the on-prem component, right? And we'll go end to end. And also we'll go to the slides, what are all the topics in each module that we are going to cover. And tomorrow, what we can do, we will log into the cloud application and we'll see what is the financials, what are all the modules that we are going to cover, right, in the financials, and how those are interrelated. And we'll also log into the cloud application. We see higher level of, flavor of cloud application, navigations, respective module. We'll go to the respective module. What is the difference between e-business suite and cloud application, right? All those things we'll cover in the tomorrow's talk. Okay. Yeah. Coming to the topics. So I've been working in ATP, ADW. These are the databases actually, and worked in all OAC components. In fact, most of the places I touched, but there is some VBCS also. There some VBCS work platform that I did not work, but I did very minimal pages, customization pages I have created in the scheduler process and VBCS also. But I do not have much experience in that area. If you ask me that, if I'm an expert, I'm not. But most of the cloud products I've already touched because I'm working as a different modules. You see, these are the cloud financials. These are the EPM products, right? So I used to work in the integrating with these two applications. And also I worked in completely end-to-end implementation of this area and these two modules as well. So that's the reason I also have a good experience in the integration of between the modules and between the applications and between the platforms. For example, now some of the people are in EBS and they want to bring their conversion data. How can we move that conversion data to cloud applications? So how can we do the integration solution? So I've been working as a solution architect almost like 4 years now. So I have an experience in the integration part as well. And I've implemented and working as currently latest release 13 I'm working. And I worked the release beta on-prem instance also. I've worked. Okay. Okay. Anyone has any concerns and anyone want to ask, anyone want to know anything or you guys are interested to know anything from me before we go to next topic? One thing I can suggest, maybe some people's, if you are not interested or you're worried about, raising your voice, but you need to learn in this training that how do you start speaking. That is very much important than your work. Like working as a shadow resource is not going to help you for anyone's career, right? Even I've been in that phase earlier. So please raise your voice and speak. That will help you. That's my, suggestion to the freshers mostly who do not have an experience. I know that people who are already working, they know that how they need to speak in their calls, right? Okay. So guys,
can I ask one question?
Yes, please. Yeah.
What all integrations you have worked on?
Okay.
What all systems other than Oracle?
We have a third-party applications. We have SailPoint integration. Okay, and we also have a Concur integration that I worked. So which are all out of applications. We also have a supplier portal integration. Right. There we started working on SAP integration also, but we stopped in between. But these are all the other third-party systems that we integrated with.
I was going to ask why you had to stop the SAP integration. Was it SAP integration with Oracle Financials, or what kind of integration was that?
Okay, it's an integration with the Oracle Financials only. But actually, we were thinking about providing an integration, but we find an alternative solution where we wanted to. There's an estimation, right? When you are doing an integration, transferring the data flows, which is the better way of doing it. Right? We have created some scripts, not direct integration, that help us to bring the bulk data to the cloud application. That's where we stop the, doing an integration between the SAP and cloud. Rather, we just bring the bulk data using some SQL scripting and, some Golden Gate details, Golden Gate and ETL integration. Mostly we use the Golden Gate integration. So that's the reason direct integration we stop working.
So what was the situation like? Was the client moving from SAP to Oracle, right, or the client has two different ERP systems that they are trying to run parallelly, and that's why you had to integrate SAP and Oracle? What was the business scenario?
So actually, we acquired a company. Okay, that company is using an SAP, and predominantly the company where I'm working is using an Oracle application. And there is a discussion about, do we need to continue with SAP or do we need to move it to the cloud? So most of the people are nominated for going to the cloud. So that's the reason we moving from SAP to cloud. And also the cloud, when we're explaining the cloud functionality with the client, there's a more flexibility of doing a customizations than SAP. SAP do not have any customizations. Whatever the product that they provide, we just need to utilize the same functionality. We cannot even customize anything, not even a single page. So there's more flexibilities they found that it's also a business scenario where they are integrating with our company, that what kind of customization that they need. That's the reason we moved from SAP to cloud.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Ramesh, is customization mostly setup based, or like how much technical it is in Oracle Fusion?
SAP?
Fusion.
Fusion, right? So, okay. So if you have an EBS background.
Yes.
Okay. So it is as similar to the e-business. So you can just technically, most of the people's, I don't know. This is almost, see, Oracle Cloud, if you feel that it is almost there from 20 years now. I've been there in the, now this is actually 8 years. So I've been there from 8 years now. We have enough opportunities in the technical side as well. Functional, in fact, functional, the flexibility and the effort you need to do in case of doing a functional configuration got reduced. So we have a rapid implementation concept here in cloud, right? That will reduce the effort of work you do for the same kind of configurations. For example, there's 900 configurations we can do by 95 rapid implementation. Earlier, we need to do all those 900 individually. So we have a rapid implementation concept here that will, but that is up to us whether you want to go with the manual method, whether you want to use the rapid implementation method. We have a flexibility how you want to choose. So we are going through that. If you go with the rapid implementation, what kind of phases that you need to come through, and what is the drawbacks, what is the benefits that we have. If you go with the manual, what is the drawback, what is the benefit that you have. We are going with both the options during our training. So how the training is phased, right? So we do rapid implementation. We also do the manual implementation. So we take we create one company, assuming that multinational company in different countries. So we implement from two different countries. When you implement for one country, we use the rapid implementation. When we implement for one country, we use the manual implementation. That way, we'll cover both the topics in this training. So in this training, actually, we assume that we are implementing someone multinational company. That way, we'll face this training all about. So functionally, all the configurations you need to do, there's no difference. And in fact, you may need to do little more other configurations, not less than what you do in EBS. But we have a rapid implementation. Rather, you are doing 10 to 15 configurations manually. Everything will be done with the one sheet. Technically, you have a database, reports we have. And only thing I would suggest any people who are interested in technical also, you need to learn some additional things like ODI, right? And Oracle Integration Cloud. Again, so Oracle Integration Cloud is a little expensive. So we're also using MuleSoft also. So it depends on the companies what they use, but technically you have enough reporting opportunities. You also have a ATP, ADW is a database where you can write your own PLSQL integrations. Yeah, similar to the current technical world, you have a lot of technical opportunities. In fact, you have more technical opportunities here. The only problem here, database administrators, right? So database administrator need to move as an infrastructure. We don't have any database with us right now because the database is being maintained by the Oracle. Okay, there is an infrastructure in the SAS components. There are lot of infrastructure opportunities. Database administrators, they need to completely shift into infrastructure side. But technically and functionally, you have enough opportunities. In fact, technically, it has been increased more because Oracle is segregated separately, and we have many reporting opportunities, many other tools that we need to learn. As I said, that we need to learn OIC, Oracle integration, and also in the OS in SAS component, we used to have OIC integration, and also we have VBCS forms there. And also you have a databases also, ATP, ADW database Oracle is providing with us. So you can create your own PLSQL database means, right? Everything will be there. RDBMS kind of tables, views, PLSQL packages, procedures, figures, and everything that you can write in the database. Okay. Happy to hear that someone has a concerns and questions. Right. So technical, in fact, we need to upgrade the skill set, but we have more opportunities in technically and functionally also. Your work will become simplified and it will be done very quickly. But it is up to us how to choose. If you ask me, I have used manual implementation. Most of the cases, like 70% of the areas I use manual, and wherever I need, I use rapid implementation. That 30% of the spreadsheet implementation I use. We talk about that in detail, why I'm choosing that way into upcoming sessions. Okay.
Okay. One more question. How frequently Oracle pushes up updates in this cloud?
Okay. Right. So every month, Oracle releases the patches. Okay. Almost. Okay. Every 4 months, we'll get one version.
Okay.
In first week of the month, usually what happens in first week of the month, they releases the patches. It would be minimal, minor changes also. It's not like every month, but that's the rule. That's the Oracle concept that they are going to release the patches in every month. First week of the month, they release all the lower instances. You have 2 to 3 lower instances. Every lower instance will be applied the patches. unless there is no changes that they find. But throughout my experience, I'm seeing every month, some or other way, they release some enhancements. Okay, every month. Every 4 months, they release the updated version. When they release the enhancement patches in the lower instances, you will get 2 weeks of time. That's an agreement. If you're not able to react within the 2 weeks without notifying to the business users or clients, Oracle will release the patches to the production. You don't have any control on that. So, but in the application, you have an option to skip the patches, skip the enhancement to the production, skip the specific instance that we don't want the enhancement patches to be applied in that specific instance, that we can control. There's an option that we need to provide, whether we need to allow the patches, whether we need to skip the patches for this month. Assume that Oracle released the patch in this month, first week of the month in the lower instance. That is your support activity, right? So you need to make sure the functionalities are working. There is a link. Oracle will provide what enhancement, what changes that they are doing to the application. So you have at least a week before, you have all the details available in that link. So you go through there, you will find all the enhancement details there. If you find those are all the only enhancement details, well and good. If there is a change in the application, you need to make sure to test the functionality, which Oracle is not going to enforce you to do that. That's a support activity that should be in our tracker that we need to manage. Then you find any issues in production, you can make sure that you can just skip that patch enhancement in the production and raise an SR saying that we found these issues after pushing these patches, fix this issue before we migrate this to production. Right? That way you can skip the patches in the production. You will get the 2 weeks of time. Okay.
So that I have one quick question. So the release you're talking about, is it a 4 months or it's every quarterly release?
It's a 4-month release mostly.
Okay. Well, I heard like it's a quarterly release. We'll get a release notes.
Sorry, quarterly release only. 3 months release. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
3 months release. We have every 3 months we'll be having a release, but mostly patches will be applied. Enhancement patches will be released every month.
Okay. Okay. And did you ever had a chance to work with Oracle support to push release? Let's say the new release which you got, right, has some issues with your integrations or like some functionality has broken. Is there like, have you worked with support to push that upgrade, like, until we fix that issue for your account?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did. Mm-hmm. We did that. We did that, and even not only, and we also forgot. In fact, so we pushed the we skipped the patches for a couple of months to fix allow Oracle to fix the issues, and also there's some email notifications in one of the workflow. So we did not test it through that, but it went to the production. And again, within a week, maybe some other clients might have raised a concern, or we don't know. Within a week, they released the counter patch directly in the production with the fixing those issues. So we forgot, and we also started getting failure notifications in the workflow, right? Mm-hmm. Simply without an issue, but that within a week, Oracle released the patches without our knowledge, later point of time. So then we raised the business users have started asking that how come this we got an issue within a week, and how come this got fixed without fixing anything from our end. So we opened SR and find out the reason. So then Oracle provided the details. This is the patch that has some issue, which broke in the workflow notification for one of the module. So that got fixed. So they provided all the details. But yeah, most of the cases we go, but 99% we did not have such cases, but we do push the patches just because of we are doing some release, and we do push the patches just because we found some very minimal issues that we don't want to move that path enhancements to the production. We did that.
And I have another question on customization, like on Infusion. So what's the level of customization we can do in Fusion? Like specifically, like I'm like, I just want to see like on the forms, or like some triggering some scripts on on some transactions, like if you need to put some business logic,
Right.
what's the level of customization we can do?
Yeah, I would recommend reserve your questions for some time. Let's go to the topics. You see that where customizations can be done and which level we cannot do the customization, all those things in the coming topics. Okay, this one we can cover in this part of this topic. So that's the reason. Just reserve this question. We cover this one. Maybe end of the session you can we'll talk about that. Okay. So anyone has any questions till the time whatever we have it, but whatever related to the application kind of questions, but that will be answered while we are going through these topics. Most of the questions will be answered. That's the reason I just requested to just reserve this, some of the questions which related to customizations and other things. First, we need to understand where is the customizations can be done, where we cannot do. So all those things that you need to understand. So then it will be easy for you to understand if I'm giving an answer. So anyone has any more questions before we jump into the next topic?
I do have one quick question.
Yes, please.
So this implementation is like, anyways, it's happening on the cloud, right? But that will be a kind of a separate tenant for customers, a separate customer. I just wanted to understand, how that is kind of configured.
Okay, see, that's implementation. It is as similar to your e-business suite. Only difference here is earlier we used to get that patches, or we used to get that CDs to install in our application, in our database, in our local servers. Now that did not happen. Oracle is providing a link with the admin user details. The admin user details which provides that's a powerful user that has been given only for the infrastructure team. And infrastructure will have create the users for the implementation teams, create the teams for implementation team. The implementation team will start working on starting the configuration part, wherein you don't have any CD or installation process. Only thing you will get the link with the access from the Oracle. Okay, and they will release the instances like dev 1, dev 2, test, production, disaster recovery instances, whatever the instance that we need. Depends on the data center where we work. So for example, our US clients are in different data centers, and South Asian countries are different data centers. Depends on the area, region that we comes into. Automatically, Oracle will tag you to that data centers, Phoenix, Ashburn, right? Chicago locations or any other location. Okay. Yeah. So again, those topics also will be covered here.
Okay.
So that's the reason. Anything that in general you want to ask, you guys can ask the question, or else we just move on to the next topic. And definitely after that you'll get more questions. Okay. Okay then. So what we are going to do here in these 2 days, we'll see the cloud introduction and detailed walkthrough on the course content, that what are all the course that we are going to provide, individual modules, each individual modules, what are all the topics that we are going to cover, right? And also, so what kind of additional advantages and benefits that we are going to have, especially the cloud training, CloudShine, when we tie up with the CloudShine. Like I said earlier, like resume preparation, certification support, or reporting also, though we call it as a financials. Usually this financial training will be introduced, included only for the financial topics. However, many people are interested in going through the reporting also, but that is required very minimal. Now, at least you need 20-30% of knowledge required in the reporting stuff for the functional peoples also. You guys know why we need, right? So you definitely need some extent of technical stuff, not like too much of technical stuff, but at least reporting knowledge you guys need. So in interest of peoples, we will include the reporting as well. Okay. So we'll see all those topics in these 2 days. Right. Day 1, we will go through this, and also we'll go through the documentation part, which is very important for any implementation consultant. Maybe you have not used the documentation link earlier in the e-business suite, but here you will more often you need to log into the documentation place where you need to get some details more often for during your implementation time. We'll also go through that where to go, how to find the documents. This is specific to not kind of learning, this specific to kind of working time, how you need to access certain details. from the Oracle document locations. Right? We'll go through all those topics in this 2-day session. And today we'll see the Fusion offerings, architecture, and what is the SaaS and SaaS overview, Oracle Financial Cloud capabilities overview, and demo instance. I'll just log into the demo instance today. We'll see high level of demo instance as much as possible. Okay. And this training is all about like 1.5 hours. We'll try to take 60 hours of time to complete this this entire training. And per day we will use the 1.5 hours. Timings can be depends on the you guys most majority of peoples which are available. So anytime like 7:30 to 9 or 8 to 9:30 depends on what is the flexibility you guys require. Depends on the majority of the peoples will choose the timings even from 6 because there are different peoples from different country, different regions. They have it would be early mornings for some of them. So depends on the peoples that you guys wanted to. We'll adjust the timings, but it is going to be 1.5 hours, and 60 hours is the time that we are going to take to cover complete training. And it is, if possible, we will extend some cases in case we are taking some additional vacations because we are getting some summer holidays or anything that is coming. Maybe we'll extend. Most of the cases we won't take the gap, but in case if it is happens, and also reporting or anyone interested in technical stuff, they're really interested. Majority of people have requesting some technical stuff also. We will take the additional sessions in the weekends. We won't disturb the regular session. We'll take some additional sessions in the weekend, Saturday, Sundays to cover some technical stuff. Okay, hi. Thanks for joining. Okay, so I'm going to next slide. So we talk about why we are talking of, usually we talk about Fusion, right? And we'd also tell that cloud. We tell that cloud, and also we talk about Fusion. What is the cloud? What is the Fusion? Why we are having this kind of confusion, right? And again, it might be very basic information for some of people who has an experience. We target the freshers as well in this training. So pardon me with, excuse me with, anything that you guys already know. Okay. So Fusion means Oracle brought the features. If you guys remember, and maybe you heard somewhere that Oracle started acquiring the companies like they Java, Sun Microsystem, PeopleSoft they acquired, and Hyperion product they acquired. I'm sorry. Then many applications they acquired, and they found out that there are better features in those applications. Hyperion they brought some features. PeopleSoft they bought because HRMS mostly PeopleSoft is very good application for HRMS mode, for HRMS side. Okay, so they brought the HRMS features from the PeopleSoft. Hyperion they brought the storage concept because Hyperion it stores the data a lot and it won't have a performance issues. When you started dumping the data, then gradually the performance will get reduced. So Hyperion has better performance than the Oracle databases. They use the Hyperion concept, the fact and dimension concept. We'll go through those things. Likewise, they bought different products. They took the features and built one application. That's the reason we used to call Fusion. Fusion of many other applications. So people who are working in e-business suite, right? 60 to 70% you see the similar functionalities. Especially you are working the financial module, 70 to 80% you see the same. Okay. If you are working a HCM side, if someone is interested in HCM side, you will see the PeopleSoft functionalities available in the HCM side. In general, in database, storage and everything, there is some functionalities altogether is built on top of the Hyperion product. Earlier I used to say that EPM application, right? This entire EPM application has been built on the Hyperion product. Okay. We are going to interact with the Hyperion product. S-base, we used to call S-base cubes. Okay. We'll see that in detail. But especially for the financial modules, we need to interact with that S-base cubes. We'll see in detail about what is the Space Cube, why we need, why they are using that. So likewise, so they brought good features from different applications and build the Fusion application. Okay, we still call it as cloud. It doesn't mean that it is in somewhere in cloud. It is being maintained by the Oracle data centers. But why we are calling it as a cloud? That we talk about in the, maybe I'll just talk about in the Excel. Okay. So usually what happens, Oracle manages the data centers. Okay. We have a shared service model. Okay. And individually, we can ask for a different stack. Okay. Okay. So what happened? Earlier, we used to have our own database. Anything that we do will be specific to our client, our business. When you're going with the shared service model, we have a support identifier, right? They'll give one they'll give one support identifier. Okay, they'll give a pod. Okay, we used to call pod. For example, MCO or TFIN. We can name it anything. I'm just giving some examples which I was come across. Okay. And okay, so they'll give different names, and this will be linked to your ID. They'll give one ID internally that will be linked to your product. And whenever they're applying any patches, whenever they're doing any maintenance activities, that happens based on the parts. Okay, specific tie-up with the pod. Every client has their own parts. When you log in with the application, also you are going to use this parts. Okay, so even though we are using a shared service model, any patches, any maintenance, data security, everything will be tied up with that. Even Oracle can't able to access the data unless you give a permission. Okay, so whenever we are working and you have some issues, you are raising some SR with the Oracle, they need some kind of data to validate, right? There is an option in the application. Take the snapshot and share the snapshot with Oracle. Okay, then only Oracle can see the certain amount of data that you are giving a permission to. So even Oracle is not having access to see the permissions data. Okay, assume that our data centers are in Oracle, but even then Oracle also cannot access our data until we give the permission. Okay, we have actually I forgot the name exactly. Node, or we used to call that. But yeah, anyway, predominantly we use the pods, right? The pod is been linked to one ID, like support ID, maybe AB1234. Assume that is the ID. So this ID is specific to our clients. Okay, any patches, any enhancements that they do on top of this one, though we are using a shared service model. Okay, so that's where cost will reduce, and also you can ask individual parts for specific to us, and anything managed by the separate. It depends on the cost effective, right? Kind of pay and take the service. So earlier what happens, whether you are certain services, whether you are taking or not, you still need to end up paying the money. Now you don't need to do that kind of service. So whatever services you are utilizing, only pay to that services. Okay, so that's the reason we used to call it as a cloud. It is been maintained by the Oracle with the shared service model most of the cases. So we used to call it as a cloud, which is not with our premises, not in our office location. It is being maintained by the different data centers, like our mobile data. So we are doing some WhatsApp. So usually we buy some China sets, right? Some of the China sets will be data centers are in China. We don't have a security. Most of the people won't believe the security, because every data, it flows through the mobile or anything that will be come through their data centers. your messages, WhatsApp, anything that you do, it comes to the data centers. So most of the people trust with the US policies. So data centers are US, has been maintained by the Oracle. When you are implementing, you need to convince your business users how the security is working on top of our data, how sensitive our data that they know, but they won't show any interest to move it to cloud because our data sits in the Oracle data centers, not in our premises. Okay, that's the reason we used to call it as a cloud. Fusion, mostly we used to call it as a fusion application because it has been fusion from many applications. Okay, and also again, once you go to the next slides, you understand how the middleware works, what is the middleware, what is the SaaS, PAAS, and all those things. Anything that sort of related, you guys can reserve your questions. But anything that you guys want to ask specific to this slide, right? Okay, so like if you go to reporting, reporting is altogether is a different now. Now in Oracle e-business suite, it has been integrated with Oracle. Here also it has been integrated. In fact, it is with the application in e-business suite. Reports are from application. We do have a D2K farms and D2K reports. We use BI reports. Everything is one application. Now reports, they moved as a separate application. It's been integrated with the Oracle Cloud. It is online integration. Once you enter the data, right after you enter the data, it will be available in the BI console. Okay, it is integrated. Whereas we have ATP and other things, they're all completely individual databases, but how that has been integrated, we'll see in future. Okay, that is also will be integrated using Golden Gate, ETL tool, that IAAS model, Oracle integration models also there, so that they will use to integrate with the databases like ATP and ADW. So that we see in detail. So when it comes to your reporting, we have a dashboards. Reports are really excellent here. They brought BI publisher functionality, whatever you have it there. Same thing like XSL formatting, XSLFO formatting for printing, check printing, PO printing, and all those things they brought. Whatever the functionalities that we have in e-business suite, all BI functional they brought. In addition to that, I would say that is only 40%. 70% they have enhanced reporting. You have a lot of features in reporting. In fact, they come up with the OAC, Oracle Analytical Cloud, which is completely standalone reporting tool. And we have a BI tool, Analytical tool. Analytical tool is integrated directly with the Fusion application. OAC is not been integrated. It's a standalone application. However, we established the integration. OAC is a very strong tool, reporting tool. We can connect to any system, Salesforce, Google Drive. We can connect. You can upload Excel and generate the. You can connect the Google. You can connect the SAP, PeopleSoft, any other applications also. You can connect. You can create the integration for the OAC and build the report out of it. You have an excellent data security also available separately for this OAC tool, which Oracle has been introduced. Okay. Oracle is also introduced FAR, which is again a reporting tool, which is an advanced tool, which is at the like a baby step now. They're just still doing an enhancements. We found out many issues there, which Oracle is working. The market also they released, but not predominantly used. But OAS is a reporting tool that is being used, which is a standalone application for report. Okay. Right. And in addition to that, you will see the business units here, which is organization in e-business suite. We have a reference data set sharing. This is the data security on the configuration side. Payment of the many other things that we have, we wanted to restrict that by the organization that other people do not want to use it. If you are a multinational company, you have some different companies been maintaining the same application, how the data security that you want to manage, right? So you have a data reference data sharing and hierarchy management. We have an excellent hierarchy management. We do have in e-business suite, but what is the hierarchy and modularity and all those things that we can see in detail. And I know in this batch there are freshers also there. Don't worry. We are going to talk about each and individual topics, whatever you see now. In detail, what is the business unit, what is the reference data, what is the hierarchy. These things are going to be discussed in detail. just understand the terminology for now, for freshers. If anyone has already have an experience in e-business suite or PeopleSoft, any other things, maybe you can just correlate. Okay. And middleware, we have a security console, which provides excellent security, data security, whatever security you have in current e-business suite, we have a similar kind of security that security model can provide. And also we have some middleware functionalities, very little database administrative activities that you can perform, down the services, up the services. For example, you are applying some kind of framework. Depends on the subscription you have it, which you are going with PAAS component, SAS component, and IAAS component. What you are using depends on that. Which one that is being provided to you and which one is being maintained by the Oracle, depends on that. You can have a flexibility. Okay. Okay. So let's go to the topics, actual topics that you guys need an attention, right? We have an on-prem instance. We have infrastructure as a service, IaaS. We have a SaaS, software as a service, and PAAS, platform as a service. PAAS is platform as a service, SaaS is software as a service, IaaS is infrastructure as a service. On top of all these things, you have on-prem, right? Okay. So what are all these all about? What is on-prem? Right? On-prem is as similar to current e-business suite if you guys are working. So database, infrastructure, everything will be in our office premises. Oracle will come and install. Like it's similar to your e-business world. Okay. So we have infrastructure, everything, database, everything will be with us. That need to be maintained by our team. Nowhere have a control or nowhere being maintained by the Oracle. But Oracle is not going to support this model in future, which is being released when Oracle releasing the cloud. We also implemented this one, but Oracle started stopping the support for on-prem instances. They're recommending to go to cloud, where our data will be sitting in the Oracle data centers. Okay, that's the difference. On-prem means on-premises in our location. Everything will be there. Database, storage, server details, right? And also, there's a lot of benefits while if you are moving it to cloud application, because you don't need to manage the servers, right? There will be a big racker you need to maintain, server rooms. If you go and search in Google, right? I just wanted to make sure. So the freshers also will understand what is this all about, right? So we need to maintain all these trackers, right? In our location, we used to have big rooms need to be maintained in one location. And temperature will be like, constant temperature we need to maintain, right? And this is a big task to maintain. And every server, mostly we use IBM servers and other servers to store. We need to buy the servers. This is a cost effective. Managing the server again is a cost effective, right? You also need some infrastructure team to manage all those things. So these things will get reduced now. And also Oracle is not going to recommend to use the on-prem instances in future. It's not going to support. So you need to go with this cloud model. Okay. Storage, networking, services, operating system also will be controlled by us. Middleware and runtime is how the application is running, right? Services, managing the services. Whenever you run anything, basically this application is built using an ADF forms, right? Now again, ADF is also going to be changed in future. They're not going to use the ADF anymore. They're changing it to new technology. I forgot the name actually. So because that is very lightweight forms, ADF itself is a lightweight forms, you can see that. But this also has some performance issues, though they are moving into other technology where you see very lightweight forms. Forms responds very fastly. They are moving it to the other technology. So whenever you run the ADF farms, there is a services that we need, web services that we need to run through. We need to import our ADF farms there and run some services, and also BI services reporting, and which means you are running anything, you are creating any data, you are using any forms internally, there is some services are running. So those things are maintained ourselves. And data is also maintained because storage is with us. All the data will sit into the storage, and application is being maintained by us. Okay, that's the on-prem instance. So now, currently, whatever the implementation that I'm doing, 8 years back, we implemented in the on-prem. We are upgrading from on-prem to cloud. Have implemented pure direct cloud implementation for the companies which we acquired in. Then 3 to 4 companies was acquired, and we implemented fresh implementation. I've done it, and beginning of that 8 years back, freshly we implemented the on-prem instances where that revenue management. There is one module is very new module. They have not even released on the market. So directly they came and installed that revenue management in our on-prem instances. So we found a lot of bugs. In fact, they tested everything in our application, in our data. Then they find out and they fix the issue. So 8 years back we were implemented. Now we are upgrading this to cloud application. So there is no difference between the e-business suite and on-prem instance. It looks very similar. Only thing again, front-end application is changing because application is same. We are using ADF farms there. So even if you go to cloud application, same kind of applications will be there. Now it has been changed the flavors because they are releasing they've released a lot of versions. The flavor got changed when compared to the on-prem instance and cloud. But usually technology they've used is the ADF as of now. So farms are similar to the other area of infrastructure that we are using, but database and everything will be stored in our on-premises. That's the on-premises. Okay, infrastructure as a service, which means certain extent of infrastructure will be allowed for us to manage. Even then, if you see here, all the areas, data will be maintained and managed by the Oracle. Data center storage will be with Oracle. All these areas, if you see, data center storage will be with Oracle, and some extent of flexibility Oracle will allow us to use it. They'll give some middleware servers for operating system installation, and will be having separate. I told you a shared service model, right? So we are going to have a separate maybe location allocated here, and everything is being maintained by when we are using a OS, it will be separately maintained. The servers itself is being maintained separately. For us, it will be cost effective. Depends on the services that we use. Oracle is going to charge. So OS can be managed by us. And middleware and runtime components, as I said, our ADF farms uses some runtime components, and BI uses some services. Right? You want to up and down the services. You want to upload some, ADF farms, web services. All those things also can be possible. Data will be stored in the separate servers, and application is being maintained when you are subscribing with the infrastructure as a service. Wherever you see blue color will be with us. Wherever you see gray color, right? These things will be maintained by the Oracle. And platform as a service, data and application is being maintained with us, right? Or you can still manage the data. You will see how the data is being managed and all those things you can see. You can, meaning not been managed, you can have a control on the data. You can modify, you can update, you can do anything, certain kind of activities on the data, and you can just cleanse the data and create some kind of reporting. And for reporting purpose, you want to manage certain specific data. You have an access where you can have your own data set and data management that you can perform, and also application. Here, nothing is being with us. Doesn't mean that we're not going to access, but is being maintained by the Oracle software as a service. Okay, we can, most of the clients now these days I'm seeing they are subscribing with PAAS and SaaS both, which means the services will be there and will be maintained by the Oracle. In addition to that, we are going to get an additional features where we can maintain our own. We can cleanse, we can modify, we can do our own data modifications. We can have some certain kind of control on the data, especially for the reporting and other areas. Okay. Only specific to this area. Anyone has any doubts? So again, this is same thing that other slides has. What is IAAS? What is SaaS? Again, see here. This is a little explanation that we are going to deploy your application, prepare web applications, which means you can create your own custom forms. When you're using IAAS, you can create your own custom forms. You cannot customize the existing forms. However, you can personalize the existing forms. Meaning you can enable some fields, you can disable some fields, you can control the behavior of the fields and form. Certain things that you can do, but you cannot change the complete application behavior, which is being provided by the Oracle. However, you can create your own custom forms and deploy those forms when you are using IAAS. Provisioning database and application being controlled by deploying your application, which is the one which I'm talking about. If you create a custom applications, you can deploy your applications. You can deploy your custom forms. Okay. And PAAS again, data and application provisioning. So you have a data access security control. You can create your own custom roles. We used to call it an application. Okay. Responsibilities we used to call an e-business suite, and that has been controlled by the forms and functions menus. Now we have it all together clubbed together as a role, right? Role also has a similar kind of menus and functions that we see, but we have a different terminology. Similarly, whatever data access, data controls that you have in EBS, we are going to have again. Whatever they have in EBS, they brought that complete functionality and they extended the functionality using other applications as well. Okay, you can deploy your custom application. For example, you want to integrate your supplier portal to our Oracle application. So that is possible even in the PAAS component. And rest everything is being controlled by the partner, means Oracle. Okay. And SaaS component, you can just run the host applications, which means they'll give one link that I'll show you. They'll give one link. Earlier, someone is asked about how the implementation works, right? So simply they'll give one kind of, you are getting one Gmail application link, or you are getting one link. So likewise, you'll get one link. They'll give admin credentials. You have no control. Just log in there using an admin credentials. Then you start creating your own users who are working on doing an implementation project and assign the specific roles, what they are doing based on the nature of the work they do. Start working. You no need to worry about the infrastructure. Okay. Which database, which application. So actually that's a big activity. If you remember in the e-business suite, what happened? Infrastructure itself, it takes like 6 to 7 months to establish the infrastructure, to build all those infrastructure earlier. Now you no need to do anything, just a link. If you remember earlier, I told that Gen 2 application, right? Usually this is a web application. You can access from anywhere. You can access from mobile also. And now, or the clients there, have an objection that I have no control on the application. So anyone can access that in anywhere in the application. See, I have implementing with my client. I can access the same application in my personal laptop also, right? Now they're coming up with some proxy configurations. So you cannot access the application other than the client network. Okay. Earlier we used to access the application anywhere without the client network. So we just get the link, application link. Okay. For example, you are applying for job portal, government jobs. So what usually they do? So this is the application that you need to use. So first time you need to enter some basic details to log in. So then you can enter your details to fill the application for that specific job. Right? Likewise, we'll get one simple application link. I'm sorry. So likewise, we'll get simple application link. They'll give a credentials. From there, your implementation will start. Okay. So provide the login credentials, username, passwords for the different people. SaaS software offers a limited customizations. It will still provide allow you to do a customization. But what level of customization that we are going to do seen during the course of time. Okay, meaning reports completely you can build from start to end. There is an analytical report, BI publisher reports. Analytical reports, you can do a minimal customization. You can create the reports, but query part, data extraction part is not in your control. And BI reports, you can create BI reports end to end. That is completely customization kind of that you can do. And the pages, whatever the application pages which you are accessing, as I said earlier, you can do the personalization. You cannot change the complete behavior. Okay, but you can make some mandatory, non-mandatory, and you can hide some columns. You can just add the columns which are not available, make those columns mandatory, those kind of limited, those kind of customization that you can do. But creating end-to-end fresh page, that is not possible when you are using SaaS Component. Okay. This is supply chain, leave it. So anyone has any doubts till now? I'm sorry, one second.
One question, what type of access we'll get here for hands-on? Will it be PAAS, SaaS, or on-premises?
For this training?
Yep.
Right. So you will get the SaaS access. Okay, PAAS access. I can show you the PAAS. How can, but I'll show you how you can create your own PAAS login credentials and utilize that. Okay. So which means you will get PAAS and SaaS both. And SaaS application we are going to provide from the CloudShine side. And PAAS one, we can create our own as a demo instance. Okay, and we can work on that. I'll show you how to create our own demo instances and access all PAAS components like Oracle integrations, and how can we access the databases, right? How can we access the object stores? Those things that we can create our own. Okay, and use that. There will be a trailer version that you can create like 45 days and other things that you can create and use that. Oracle will allow you to create. Okay, I'll show you how to do that also, PAAS one. But from the beginning, we are going to have the SaaS from the day one. Okay. And even now, as I said, now we are upgrading to SaaS component only. We have a separate subscription for PAAS. All those things are based on the subscription model. You subscribe, you pay, and we provide the service. That's how it works. So SaaS and PAAS need to be subscribed separately. So most of the cases, functional peoples, technical peoples work in the PAAS components, sorry, SaaS components. So functional peoples and technical, okay, uses the SaaS component. Infrastructure team, RDBS, use the PAAS component. Okay, so we more interested on this area, right? And PAAS, but you just wanted to know some areas like object stores, storage buckets, okay, at database level, ATP, ADW, certain PAAS functionalities that you need to be aware, VBCS, OIC, some technical peoples also that required some PAAS components that they want to be aware. But we go with that. In PAAS also, we have some technical stuff that they need to be aware. But we concentrate only on the SaaS. But I'll show you how to create your own instances and start exploring the PAAS component as well. Okay. All reporting, when I say technical, reporting and other things can be done using a SaaS component itself. But any integrations that you want to do, if you are using OIC, Oracle Integration Cloud, OIC, this is a PAAS component again. Rather than that, we have ODI. ODI is also one of the best integration tool that I ever come across. When we are providing the solution, right? Usually we think about how can we provide the solution with less cost, right? So OIC is an Oracle component again. that is been integrated and is been used for integration. And it's again volume-based subscription. So if you're a multinational company and you have a lot of huge volume of data flowing between the instances, then it is not been recommended to use it. So that's the reason we went through the ODI concept. So wherever we need, we are using OIC. Wherever we need, we are using ODI. Depends on the nature of the work, depends on the volume of the data that you guys are using. You guys need to choose. This is all about the solution factor, solution phase. During the solution phase, we decide what functional that we need to use and all those things that will be discussed. Right? But yeah. Okay. So usually from the day one, you are going to get the SaaS component, software as a service. Okay. And PAAS component we'll talk about separate and we can explore them. Okay. Any more doubts? Okay. So this is the financials, right? We have all the areas that majorly this slide covers most of the areas here. And like e-business suite and other things, we have an integration. We can have an integration between the modules, right? So this is the general. In the financial modules, we are going to cover general ledger, account payable, asset management, right? And receivables, cash management. Also, we are going to cover. We have a payment and collections. Also, we have expense module and some KPIs and all those things. Common modules. These are all part of financials. And anyone is interested in SCM, so human capital management. These are all the human capital management areas like global human resource, workforce, and benefits, leave management, talent review, right, and hiring management, and all those things will be part of the human capital management. And supply chain will be having product SCM, OM module. There are many modules. The PO module, other things will also be part of supply chain. Product master data management, distribution order, architecture, global order, inventory, cost management, these things as part of the supply chain. Okay, we have a procurement, a CRM, other project portfolios. This is the overall. In fact, we have hundreds of, I would say that many modules in the cloud application. Most of them, some of them are not mentioned here, but higher level, these are all the modules that mostly we work, right? So this is the area where we are going to concentrate throughout the training. Okay. So this is the topics at higher level. What is PAAS? What is SaaS? Why we used to call it as a fusion, right? Then we'll go to the application and see how the application looks like, right? Let me just get the details. I'm trying to find the instance to log in. Okay. Tosh, you are there?
While you're opening the application, one quick question on the codes, like the areas and so on. So it's a purely functional training, right? Also, will you be including any other topics like RBI or the technical reporting areas?
I'm really sorry, and I did not get your complete question. Would you mind repeating again?
Yeah, I mean, like you just showed the the course, we'll say the entire course structure, right? You just showed fusion and what are the areas we'll be covering in financial side, right? It's a so is it going to be fully functional training?
Right. This is actually a functional training.
Mm-hmm.
We cover all functionals, as I was saying earlier. Technically, also we are going to cover reporting part, not the complete technical stuff we are going to cover here in this training.
So in the sense, reporting is OTBI will also be covered.
Right, that's an additional stuff that we are covering, but it's not been included as part of training. But we are covering the reporting also end to end, creating from scratch, dashboards, and everything will be covered. Those things will be covered only in the weekends, not in the regular part of training.
Got it. Thank you.
So I'm just, I don't know if these credentials are working. Tosh? Right.
Ramesh, I have shared with you on the chat.
Okay. Same shot. 1 second. Okay. Are you guys able to see my screen still?
Yes.
So this is a cloud application. Again, we have a different flavors here in this application. Okay. We have 8 flavors. We have different backgrounds we can have. We have Springfield weave, different flavors of application where you can change the background, but that is not being controlled by us. Infrastructure team, who can control the display control actually. Whatever you see, main menus or anything that you see here, the flavor will get changed. We have different flavors of applications, background, and all those things. This is one of the flavor. As I said, we'll be having kind of an application that will be given. A simple web application link will be given to us. From here, we start doing the implementation. So they'll provide a link like this. If you implement SaaS or PAAS anything, okay, they'll provide a link like this with the credentials. Okay. They will give an FA admin. Is the user. Anyone implements. This is the common user which Oracle provides. Okay. Common user which Oracle provides. The credentials. The credentials, everything will be different. You are implementing client, or I'm implementing for any client, everything, but this FA admin is one user that they provide. Everyone has their own credentials. Okay. And this is a user can destroy the application, can create anything. This is a powerful user which has everything. Complete control this user has. So that's the reason credentials is not been given to everyone. This is being managed by the management team, maybe. Okay, or infra team. In infra also, any one team can have this FA admin. From here, they'll create one user for us, right? And I don't know if I have security console. You have this security console in this, Tosh, or?
No, Ramesh, this one is without security console. This is private instance. If you want public instance as well.
Yeah. Do you mind sharing that?
Yes, sorry. Kindly allow me.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Between, I'll just cover the other topics. So in the security console, we'll give the user provisioning. Okay. Then initially they'll create users which are recommended to start the implementation. And we just go through the flavor of this application. We'll see that security part, how the users will be created, all those things in coming session. This is the main home page. And you see here, you have a home page and star marks, which is a favorite for user who logged in. You can just add your favorites here. And this is the watch list. Any important thing that you want to add it here, that right after you log into the application, you want to have these things to be watched before you jump into the actual work. This is the alerts, notifications. Okay. Certain things are specific to user. When you say that here, anything that you see is specific to user, if you are an admin, you have an admin role, then you'll see the notifications or anything that are common to other users also. If you are a specific user, it has been controlled. Anything that you see is also been controlled by the roles. Okay. You see many tabs here. Now someone log in, they'll see only very few. This has been controlled by the roles. You see here many other beneficiary. These are all HRMS. Okay. If I go here, I'll see order management. I'll see supply chain, receivables. These are all the modules. This is one area where you can access. The similar thing can also be accessed in the navigator. This is called navigator, right? Here also you can access. Only difference is the way you see here. Okay. Everything can be accessed here. If I go to a journal ledger, you see these are all the custom extensions. Same thing that you can see here also, right? These are all the custom extensions. So whatever you see here in the navigator, same thing you see. There's two way of navigating. How you want to go. Okay. Again, if you select this user, this is the user, right? I've used one user to log in. You see this, some of the actions here, settings and actions. Certain things these are all specific to user. These are all admin activities, which means you need to have an admin role. Then only you can see these things, or else this complete tab will be disappear. If this user do not have an admin access, then you won't see anything here. You'll only see the user preferences. These things will be there for every user. This user preferences, troubleshoot things will be there, but the specific to this section will not be available for everyone. Okay, this is the user controls. You can go to accessibility settings and all those things that you can do. So I thought I can go through the navigations and areas. Okay, we have 3 minutes. Sorry, but let me see how extent we can go. My team, some of the workspace, my clients, these things are common to everyone, but those are specific to you. These tabs will be available for everyone. Some of the tabs will be disappeared. Depends on the role. Okay, you might see that I'm logging into the different application. No, if something is not available here, just because you do not have a right role available. Okay, but certain details will be common. Anything like employee related, right? That will be common, specific to you, but it is common for everyone. Everyone can see all this. My teams, my group, workspace, and all those things will be available for you guys also. Okay. But only information which you see is specific to you. Okay. Anything that you see here, current time card, this is all employee related. When you select this time card or anything, that you see only your time card, not everyone's time card. These things depends on the roles. Okay. Any doubts? We'll go in detail if time allows. I am just thinking to go somewhere, at least one module, general ledger module. So when you select, this is the modules: payables, general ledger, supply portal, receivables. These are all the modules. If you see in the e-business suite, you will be having a D2K forms, right? And ADF pages. Not ADF pages. Custom pages. OAF pages, right? We used to have OAF pages. Here, all these things are built on ADF platform. You have menus, functions, everything will be controlled in the security console that we see. So this is one module. When you go this module, you have a general ledger dashboard. Sorry. In cloud, what happened? Every module has its own dashboard, which is a centralized place. You no need to go to different navigation. For example, I'm going to create some transactions. I'm going to approve something. I'm going to modify certain things. I'm going to do the setups. You no need to go in multiple navigations, multiple pages. You just select one page. Business users can go to one dashboard. From there, they can navigate to different places. Okay. This is the dashboard. We can create our own custom dashboard and can be integrated with the application. So I don't have any access here. So I cannot do anything. Okay. This is very basic application. So this is the dashboard. Okay, so you can go to their dashboards, and from there you can perform your activities, which means business users can perform their activities. Then no need to go to different places, like different navigations in one centralized place where they can go. Likewise, every module has invoice payable dashboard, and receivable also has their own specific billing dashboards and account receivable dashboards. They have a dashboards. Every module has a dashboard where you can go to that dashboard. From there, you can go to different tasks, whatever you perform. Okay. If I go to journal, I think Tosh, I need maybe a different application where I can have a security console, because I need to add a roles, but I need to create data access sets also I need to create, right? So this has very basic information.
I have pinged you on the chat again, the credentials.
That is the public instance, right?
Yes, yes. Public instance has security console.
Okay, but also let me check, because let me just go through that in case while creating any configurations, we'll see. Okay, anything that needed, I'll let Vijay know. Okay, so I'm just trying to go to the module here. I'm going to the different page, like this is one of the journal page. Okay, because we don't have any access here, data access. You see data access, we don't have any data access. That's the reason it's not allowing to open a page itself. So this is, I just want to show you, this is the journal page, and we have, this is called task list. Okay, this is called task list that you can perform. Again, this is the task list is being maintained based on the role. All these things may not be available for everyone. Someone can have a create journals. Someone can have manage approvals. Managers can have approvals. So certain things, this is the task list that we can say. And we can just use the create journals where you can create the journals. This is again a kind of a dashboard for the journal screen. You can see that journals, some many other activities that you can see here. These are all the dashboards that we have. And if we can go to other module called payables. Visibility of easy access. Performing the task is very easy. I just want to go to payable invoice page. This is all subledger modules have this kind of info tiles. We used to call this as info tiles. We have info lets, info tiles. So let's. These are all info tiles. Okay, we have one more info tiles, info lets. This is kind of reporting. Okay, we can create some, excellent, visibility of reporting. It's been, allowed for some modules that you can see what is info tiles and other things. These are all the info tiles. These are the info tiles. Other things are info lets. So here itself you can see what are all the invoices which have been created within 24 hours. So all the invoice details that you can see here. Approval spendings, polls, scanned invoices. You no need to go to different pages. Here itself, if I select this one, I can get the invoices which are created in 24 hours. We don't have it. If you just select this one, it will bring you 3 days of 3 days. If you select this one, it will go to 5 days, right? Aging. If you select this one, it will go to 7 days. So it will bring you the buckets here, 24. So up to 7 days of invoices that you can see here. We have here scanned invoices. If you select this one again, this is 15 days. You can see the invoices. So which means business users or any functional people who are supporting, you don't need to go to different pages, different navigations. Okay, you just come one place and do your activities. No need to go to different pages. Again, here also you have a task list here. So you have a task list. These things are controlled based on the roles. Again, if you go to here, these are all the reports. As I said earlier, we have a BI model, right? All the reports will be built in the BI console. However, those BI is being integrated with the reporting. So you will. So here you can see the reporting as if you go here. This is the search button, but here you can see the reports. Again, you go to shared service model. You will find the reports which are related to payable. Though BI is a separate console, separate application, it is being integrated with the cloud application. You can see the reports here available. These things can be controlled by technical people. What reports need to be available, what reports not required to be available here, all those things. Okay. This is the task list, this is search button, and this is the reporting area for the invoicing. Right? So every module has its own different flavors, and anything that you see, but every module has its own dashboards, centralized place. You no need to navigate different places. Go to one page. From there, you can start creating your navigations. Okay. Okay. So we'll see in more details about, especially this we got. We have one more, which topics that we cover, right? I'll bring that. Tomorrow we'll see what are all the topics we cover in detail, right? Day one, we'll see what are all the offerings that we are going to provide, what topics that we provide, detailed walkthrough of course content. Tomorrow we'll see. And we'll also go through what is the financials, maybe freshers that you guys can understand what is the financials, right? We'll go in detail about the explanation about this integration fit modules. What is the subledger modules? What is these modules? What modules that we are going to cover? What is the module all about? What is the payable module? Why we need? What can be covered? What is general ledger? All those things we'll see in detail tomorrow. And also course content. What are all the topics that we are going to cover in detail for every individual module that we see tomorrow session. Okay. Okay. Anyone has any doubts? Any suggestions, guidance, anything that you want to talk about? I know we are going very higher level. We'll go with in detail and we'll touch base. We'll keep the freshers also in mind, and we'll go as based on the freshers as well. But today just we are giving very brief. It is actually not even a percentage. I can say 0.01% is all about, right? But you guys need to, we just providing flavor of the cloud application. Hope you guys understand what is the cloud. Technical peoples or functional peoples also might have got some idea how extent of work you guys have it. So usually when people say that when you go to cloud, no, we don't, our jobs are gone. There's very minimal people's works. No, actually, in fact, we need more resources there in cloud application. Only piece it has been take out is DBS. DBA work will not be there anymore. So they need to change their profession to infrastructure team. Already they are managing the infrastructure. That is not new to them. 50% of the area which DBS are aware, but they need to move to infrastructure side, not in the database administrator side. But technical and functional people, you still have more work. Okay. Anyone has any doubts, any questions? So I'll stop the recording. Hope